Hey guys, Aaron with Rise for More. Instructors out there, martial arts teachers, why do you have burnout? Listen, my intent with this video right now is to teach you why it happens, how to prevent it, to make sure you never go through the phase of just losing your love and your passion for teaching martial arts. So, okay, what is burnout? Listen, who's ever heard this phrase where like you can't burn the candle at both ends? Can't you? Well, like I work all the time. You know what? And it's not even work because I love teaching. All right, this is teaching even right here. Listen, I love teaching martial arts to anybody, kids, adults, doesn't matter, but this is still teaching. It's just a different method, right? So it still fulfills that thing of like, I love helping people get to their next best self, and including every time I teach, guess who I'm teaching? Myself. So listen, a lot of times the reason why burnout happens, which I don't believe is existing, is because you disconnect. You disconnect from where you're going. So when people say, oh, you're working too much or whatever, I'm not saying getting tired. You should get tired. But why does it happen? What is it? So let me just define what I believe people think burnout is. They believe burnout is you're working too long, too many hours with not enough result. And so what happens is the payoff, the juice is not worth the squeeze. Okay, so if that's what kind of most people kind of assume what burnout is, how do we prevent it so it doesn't happen to you? So you stay engaged with your students. By the way, because if you get burnt out on teaching martial arts, it doesn't hurt just you and your family. Think about all the people that you're currently teaching. Think about all the people you should be teaching in the future. And if you lose that, understand is you could be the one person that could save so many lives. One to many, that's you. How do we solve that? You got to make sure we stay in love with what we do, passionate what we do. So if we think it's working too many hours without the payoff, let's prevent that, okay? So let's talk about the first thing is, how do we make sure that we stay in love with martial arts? So let's do this. If your first class is, let's say 3:30 p.m., I don't care what market you're in, but let's just say your first class is 3:30. What time are you actually physically showing up at your school? I'm gonna tell you what I did when I had this burnout phase. 9 a.m., I'm at the school, right? For what reason? Because I liked being in the environment and I would work, but was I? Because there was a lot of time where I'm just there. And I say I'm doing work on the computer, but do you remember when you were a kid playing video games? I see it happen right now with everybody's phone. And you're playing that game, next thing you look up, you're like, oh my God, it's midnight. We start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It felt like it was 15 minutes. When you're engrossed in something, it can consume and time just loses it, okay? I live in Las Vegas. If you go into a casino, there's a reason why they don't have windows. The reason why they have the lighting a certain way. They don't have clocks. They want you to lose sense of time of day. So you get locked in, right? And it's an algorithm. So what happens is you're burning hours before you even have to be on. Hit that on button. Ooh, I hit the mic on that one. Hit the on button. So that way you're ready to rock and roll. So if you're there from 9 to 3:30 for the first class, right now it's just fatigue of hours. So one, be more efficient, because here's the enemy of what we do as a career. You teach from 3:30, you finish your last class at 9:30. Oh, you gotta eat dinner, you gotta get home. You get home to the family, let's say at best case it's 10 p.m. Okay, now your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, they're like, where you been? It's been so late. You get home, you left at 9 o'clock, now it's 10 o'clock. And then you gotta eat. Oh, and you've been on from 3:30 to 9:30 teaching. So guess what? You get home, you're quiet. Anybody have this? You're like, you become a different version. You go from extrovert to introvert and you just wanna like check out, but they haven't had you all day long. Oh, so now here's what happens. Now the wife's nagging you. Don't blame her, because she wanted the person that she fell in love with, but you've become a slave to your job and you're gone the whole day. You come home and now you're hearing that how you haven't been present there. And then so now you're in your head thinking like, well, man, I'm working all day long so we can have stuff, but all they really want is you. And you burnt the whole day up and you didn't even sign up a new student that day. You actually didn't even reach out to your leads because you're afraid of the phone call. Let's be honest, you don't like calling people, or you're trying to delegate that to someone else. And so then you do this over and over again until one day you throw in the towel. And where do you throw in the towel? You're either throwing out your family or you're throwing out your career, or worse, both. Who benefits? Nobody. Okay, how do I know this? This is what I did. And you hurt so many people when you do it this way. So there's a better way.
Hey guys, we'll get you right back to the video here in a second. If you want to scale your company, if you want to grow your company, click this link below right now. One of our team members is going to reach out to you in the next 24 hours, and we're going to help guide you through the process. We have the goal of impacting business owners in the martial arts space around the world so we can impact our kids, our future, and build resilience through everybody. And I know you can create heaven on earth through your business. So I want you to go to the next level in your business. Click this link below and we'll reach out to you. And I promise I will overpromise and overdeliver, and we'll back up that faith all the time that you're going to go to the next level personally, professionally, financially. And I can't wait to personally meet you.
So first, if you don't teach until 3:30, what do you have to be at your school for? So my staff is 90 minutes before the first class is when they're going to be in the school, and they have 15 minutes to be dressed out on the mat, belt tied, be ready to rock and roll once they get here. Okay? They can't get here, spend 30 minutes here, then get dressed out. They get 15 minutes from the time they unlock the door, walk in the building. Lights have to be on immediately, okay? 15 minutes to put their stuff up, get the gear tied up, and they're on the clock. We're open for business. And now, listen, you've got an hour and 15 minutes for the first class. When you shorten the window, you're efficient with your work because you're not going to BS around. And then from the last class, if it ends at 9:30, in 30 minutes, they got to be locking the doors. That means if you didn't have to show up until 2 p.m., from the time you wake up till 2 p.m., you get to invest in who? You, your family. You get to take your kids to school. You get to go to the gym. You get to take care of your mind, your body. You get to go do stuff at the house to make sure it's not building up this big list, okay? You want to prevent burnout. You want to have a family. By the way, you should have it all. Have a family, have the money, have the legacy, have the impact, have the influence, have amazing students, all right? Whether it's just you with one school or you're trying to go to 10 or 20 or 30, it doesn't matter. You can have it all, but you got to build a plan where you don't lose the passion of building a system that destroys the man that's trying to go after the dream, all right? So listen, I'm telling you right now, I've built multiple schools and hated my life because I was burning the candle with no efficiency and no direct action. And so at some point, I was going to break, and I was hurting a lot of people in the process. So you want to prevent burnout. The number one thing I'm going to tell you right now is make sure that you're just not in your school with a bunch of hours on the clock, lying to yourself that you're efficient and effective with your work because you're not. You shorten that window of time, you'll be more effective. Now, did I say don't work when you're at home? Sure, you're working on you. You're working on your family. When that stuff's healthy, you're way more efficient when you show up. You're way more excited, okay? And you get to be more authentic because you're just not wearing this burden and just playing the game in your head and hurting a lot of people but by not taking the right kind of actions, okay? So, fix your clock. And I'm not talking about time block and all that stuff. Just be efficient and just literally be super simple. Get up, take care of yourself, take care of your family, because you know what our business is in the evening. Try to see within 2 hours or less that you can walk in the door, lights on, belts on, do this with your staff, and be efficient from day one. The next thing is, why does burnout happen? Oh, baby. Listen, I'm gonna tell you another one. I'm guilty of this one. Let me ask you this. Why did you start teaching martial arts? Why did you start teaching martial arts? Is it just because it's the only thing you gotta do and you kind of fell into it? Probably not for most of us. Most of it is there's something about teaching and running the school of martial arts because you actually love the culture of martial arts. You love the community of martial arts, right? You love the environment. You love the self-development. And you probably love teaching because you love seeing that kid, that student grow, and you love being part of that development, right? You love seeing a kid that couldn't take a class and 3, 4, 5 years later is not only taking classes, leading class with you next to you. Right? You love seeing that woman coming in that wanted to sign up to learn self-defense, and she's too shy to even look at your eyes, and now she's not only just, she's screaming and hitting those bags, right? And you know, hey, if something ever happens, she can handle herself, right? You love seeing progress in people, and you love being part of their story. It's probably more likely why you're doing this. So why does the passion go away? You got to take care of yourself. We talked about the time. Let's talk about the next thing you don't take care of yourself in. When's the last time you took a class? When's the last time you went to a workshop? And I'm not talking about just on the stuff you love. What's the skills you know you don't have in your business? Maybe you're not good at the phone, marketing, sales, whatever it is. No one should know the business better than you. Never delegate something to a staff member that you don't know the ins and outs to do, right? Even if they know it better than you, which if you're great, you hire people doing something better than you better know the role that you hold them accountable to. Otherwise, how are you gonna hold them accountable? How do you know if they're not manipulating you or they're selling you back? People will take advantage if you give them. What's the thing? Give them an inch, take the mile. So when's the last time, but what kind of martial arts do you actually love, right? You could teach one kind of martial arts and love something different. When's the last time you took a seminar, a workshop? When's the last time you competed? When's the last time someone held you accountable, put goals in front of you? Most of you guys, it's probably been a minute. And so what happens is, the further you're removed from being the student, the harder it is to be a great teacher because you lose touch. So let me tell you what I've done over my career. Not only do I go take workshops and seminars and martial arts skills and disciplines, sometimes that I didn't even necessarily like, but I wanted to learn from somebody because I was learning how they teach. I wanted a relationship, and I just wanted to feel what it was like to be a white belt again. It's a cool feeling sometimes, right? Actually, all the time, it's a great feeling. All right, the next thing is I would go take workshops on things in my business I wasn't great at because I needed to learn it. And then sometimes these were martial arts educators, sometimes there were people just in the business world. I would go to motivational workshops and seminars. And by the way, I will tell you another thing is you can do a lot of this virtually, of course, you don't have to go places, but just getting out of your environment, sometimes getting out of your routine gives you a new fresh set of eyes about, oh, what's the world like? Oh, there's actually other things, all right? And you always look for the lesson. The other thing I would do, I would intentionally pick things that were out of my comfort zone to go do something that made me feel way out of sorts, okay? Remember the first time I played golf, I'm like, what the heck is this? I thought I was just hitting a little white ball, it's easy. It's not so easy, okay? Go play tennis. Go do something you've not done before just to feel out of place. So you know what it's like for that little kid walking in. It's their first time and they're kind of like, I don't want to mess up, okay? Go do things to stay white belt mindset for life. So check in with yourself, okay? So I'm going to tell you right now, skills. There's something in your martial arts discipline that you love to do. Whatever discipline you do, Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, whatever it is, there's something that in the skill of that you love. There's probably parts of it you don't love. But where are your skills doing this? Not just in your martial arts, okay, because that is a given. But let's talk about, what about our leadership skills? When's the last time, and here's my challenge for you guys. How about right now, what I'm doing? I'm talking to a camera. There's not a person on the other side, but there is, because I know exactly the kind of person I'm talking to. I'm talking to the person that I wish somebody would have talked to me, all right? But guess what? You know how people would not do this because they're scared of, oh, I'm gonna put something out in the world, rejection, whatever, comments, whatever. Listen, that fear is gonna keep you from getting better at this. And it starts with you. And none of us are perfect, all right? But the only way we're gonna get better at not losing our passion is we have to make sure that our skills constantly are doing this. And if they're not, if your martial arts ability is not going, teaching and doing martial arts are two different things. You wanna not lose your passion. You gotta make sure they're always becoming a white belt mindset in everything you do so you can connect with the people that step on your floor, all right? And listen, last thing I'm gonna finish with this is, why the passion, why does it fade away and how can we protect it? Well, one, skills are dropping, okay? You're at your work way too much, you're disconnected there. But the biggest thing is, when all this stuff starts going awry, your ego. You won't ask for help. You won't say, hey, who can I call? Who can I be real with? Who can I be authentic with and say, listen, I haven't figured this out. I'm working my ass off, but I'm not making more money. Because if there's a result coming in, yeah, work all day long if you have a result. If I worked 12 hours and made 20 grand that day and I did it every day, okay, then you can scale, but that's not what's the reality. Your ego is keeping you from calling someone and say, I need help. I don't know how to figure this out. Hey, I'm over my head. I've spent too much money. I don't want to communicate this to my wife. I'm struggling. You put the burden all on your shoulders. You think you got that black belt. You're supposed to have all the answers, and you're afraid to be real and honest and authentic that you need help, right? And I say this because, again, I went from one school to 3 schools. Why did I go to 3 schools? Because, see, when you have one school, the measurement karate people do, you guys know this. How many students you have? Oh, I've got this many. How big is your school? All dumb stuff. Well, then after you kind of have success in one school, you're making money. It's like, what's the next thing? Oh, I've got 2 schools. You know what? I got 3. Ego about killed me. I'm gonna tell you, when I say about killed me, I was ready to not wake up. I prayed for this thing to end. Because I had 3 schools, made less money than I had with 1 school. I had more staff, more problems, and no time, and not more money. And I didn't know how to figure it out. And I had to hit a point in my life where I'm like, either this thing stops today or I'm stopping. Something's got to give, all right? And so I had to check that ego finally and literally start over. I said, I'm getting rid of these schools. I'm going to get back to 1. I'm going to fix this first before I go bigger. Man, thank God I did, all right? You'll go through seasons like that multiple times in life because you'll build things sometimes bigger than you thought you could, but for the wrong reasons. And unless you stop the ego, you know who you're going to destroy? It's going to destroy yourself first. It's going to destroy your passion second, and then everything you touch will destroy. Please, whatever you do, don't let that happen. And if you need someone to reach out to, if it's not me, you can reach out to me. I can point you in the right direction. I'm not everybody's voice. I get it. All right? I would love to help you. I feel like I got the skill, the talent, the people to bring the right kind of message across to you. Yes, you need to make money in your business, but you got to step on the floor and understand that this is your pulpit, this is your stage, this is your opportunity to influence a life. One life can change the world. You don't know who you're teaching today that's going to save or create the next great product for this world. All right, the next president, the next doctor, it's all in your influence. You have an obligation and responsibility. So listen, don't let your passion fade. Get right with your people, get right with your heart, get right with your mission, check your ego out the door, get your time fixed right. Don't spend all your time on your job because it will become a job. Spend your life living a passion and coach everybody in your world around you, and they live a life that people are inspired by, that you're even inspired by. If you do that, hey, listen, everybody in your life will rise.